Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer, and I am so excited to be here with my great friend and chiropractor, Dr. Jerrilynn Primeaux. And as you know, I mentioned I'm Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer, and we're here to talk about legacypreneurs. And I have Dr. Primeaux, who is a legacypreneur. She is both has a legacy, has created and built a legacy, and continues to create and build. And she's also an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur at that. So I want to welcome you, Dr. Primeaux, to the show, a legacy. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, yeah, no problem. And I want to just share a little bit about Dr. Primeaux. Dr. Jerrilynn Primeaux is a DC, right? CCSP, and I'll let you explain what that is a little later. She is a doctor of chiropractic care. She has earned her doctorate of chiropractic degree from Texas Chiropractic College in 2008 and graduated as salutatorian with magna cum laude honors. She also earned a Bachelor of Science degree in kinesiology from Louisiana State University in 2005 with magna cum laude honors. She is a 2001 graduate of Iota High School with valedictorian honors and was a 3-sport letterman, excelling in basketball, softball, and track. During chiropractic school, Dr. Primeaux completed a neurosurgery hospital rotation under Dr. Edward Murphy at St. Joseph Hospital in Houston, Texas, where she was awarded the unique experience of observing brain and spinal surgeries and assisting the surgeon with clinical rounds before and after surgery. Dr. Primeaux has advanced training and certification in sports rehabilitation and is certified through the American Chiropractic Board of Sports Physicians as a certified chiropractic sports physician. She also holds a how do you pronounce that?
Kinesiology.
Thank you. Taping certification.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kinesiotaping.
Okay. Kinesiotaping certification, as well as a personal training certification through the National Exercise and Strength Training Association. What also sets Dr. Primeaux apart is that she has a perinatal certification called the Webster Technique, which gives her more expertise with treating pregnant patients before, during, and after pregnancy. In addition, she belongs to the American Chiropractic Association, the Chiropractor Association of Louisiana, the International Chiropractic Pediatrics Association, the Acadiana Breastfeeding Coalition Board of Directors, the Raging Revenue BNI chapter, and is an active parishioner of St. Joseph Catholic Church. She is originally from Rayne, Louisiana, and resides in Milton, Louisiana, with her amazing husband, Sean, and 2 beautiful children, Caitlin and Colin. Dr. Primeaux is passionate about her profession. Helping her patients to be pain-free and attain a healthy lifestyle are her top priorities in practice. That is part of her legacy. And I can attest to Dr. Primeaux because my family, she helps us. In fact, Dr. Primeaux is my son's favorite doctor. Don't tell my sister's also a doctor, but you're her favorite doctor, his favorite doctor. And I just want to touch base a little bit, Dr. Primeaux. Once again, welcome to the show, Legacypreneurs. And I want you to know that we're here to have a conversation about legacy, right? You as an entrepreneur, you've put together that legacy plus entrepreneur to create that legacypreneur. And we talk about a lot about legacy because legacy is, when you think about it, it's the lessons learned through life as well as material assets combined. So I'd like to find out from you, what is your definition of legacypreneur? Legacy.
Of legacy is a lasting impression on the world. So I find that it's a gift that is passed down through generations. So leaving a legacy means dreaming big and making a lasting impact on the world. And other definitions of legacy could be material assets, money, and goods. But personally, I think it's just making that change, making a lasting, huge impact on the world and changing it for the better.
That's great.
For future generations.
That's fantastic, Dr. Primeaux. And I agree with you. It's about making that imprint, right? That positive imprint. And I'll ask you this. I know you make many positive imprints in the community. I mean, the different organizations that I'm also like with the BNI group, you make so many positive impacts. Can you share with us a little bit about some of those positive impacts that, come to mind? Because I know you make so many, but what are some of those things you can share with us?
Oh, yes. Well, you spoke about the BNI, which is near and dear to my heart, but another one is the Acadiana Breastfeeding Coalition. And I feel that being a part of that organization is very, very important, because breast milk is the best form of of food for the baby. And I breastfed both of my children for 2 years each. And I find that they were healthier while they were infants. They never got ear infections. They rarely ever got sick. So being a part of that and being on the medical board and helping moms to breastfeed and make that more the norm is near and dear to my heart. And also I'm very involved in the Catholic Church and the Catholic faith. So that's also another thing. My religion is very important to me as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I always talk about that too, how DNA, you're unique, right? You set yourself apart. Nobody else can be Dr. Primeaux. And then we bring in the synergy of working together with other people, and that creates your legacy, right? And those particular organizations you've spoken about, and I know ones that I'm particularly a part of with you, you always make that positive impact. And I can tell you, that is amazing. That's fantastic. So I definitely want to encourage you to continue with that. So thank you for sharing those specific examples with me. And so I always love to talk to individuals about their legacy because legacy starts from the past, right? It's what's created you to up to this particular point. So let's talk a little bit about that. First, the past, then we'll go into the present, and then into the future, your future goals. So share with us a little bit about your past. What's part of that past legacy that has led you up to here today?
Yes, my first experience into practice, I started as an independent contractor, under another chiropractor. And that 1 year was very instrumental, because I was able to learn the ins and outs of running a business. In school, we learn about the sciences and how to treat the patients, but we didn't get much on the building the legacy and building your business plan, and knowing that you need a will, you need a trust, insurance. So learning under that chiropractor was very instrumental to help me get the nerve, I guess, to open my own business. And in 2010, I opened my own business inside of a fitness center in Lafayette. And we had about maybe 800 square feet in the back of this fitness center that we were able to help patients in there, and also help people that had hurt themselves in the gym. And it was a great start. 2010 to about 2014, we utilized that space, but we just outgrew it incredibly fast. So in 2014, which is the present from the clinic that I'm in now, we were able to open an integrated wellness clinic. So we have about 2,000 square feet. Again, here in Lafayette, we stayed in Lafayette region, and we have different professions within this wellness center that we're able to refer back and forth and keep everything in-house. So it's your one-stop shop for wellness. And that was my ultimate goal. Whenever I got out of school, I knew I didn't want to work for somebody long-term. My personality is somewhat type A, very structured. I'm very independent, so I needed my own thing. But again, having that year under that chiropractor really taught me a lot. So at this wellness clinic, we were able to help other professions grow in addition to chiropractic care. We have massage therapists. We have 2 massage therapists in-house, and also naturopathic doctor. And then we offer fitness classes as well. And I'm just very proud of getting to that point. And it only took 4 years to get to that point. But that was my ultimate goal, was to have that wellness center.
Wow. Well, kudos to you for doing that, Dr. Primeaux. That is absolutely amazing. So that is a lot of growth in just a 4-year time period, right? Building you up to where you are now. And I just want to highlight a few points that you mentioned, some absolute gems. So we think about it with entrepreneurship, right? You think of that legacypreneur. All of us have to, it's important, imperative to have some type of mentor to work with, right? So you can grow and develop quickly just as you did. And so you had the chiropractor that you worked with or worked under, and then eventually, reached out into your own realm or environment from an entrepreneurial perspective. That's fantastic. So you worked with somebody who had been there, done that, and now you're doing that, and you're now mentoring other people, other entrepreneurs, which is fantastic. And as you know me as well, working with you, I love the holistic approach to business, just like you take a holistic approach, that integrated wellness clinic, that one-stop shop. That is fantastic. And that's what people want. they need a one-stop shop, somewhere they can go and take care of everything in one location. That is amazing and fantastic. And what really captures my heart, or touches my heart, I should say, is the synergy you've created within your own location there, Dr. Primeaux. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So now we know a little bit about your past, right? What about the present now? What are some other things you're doing at this particular moment in your, as an entrepreneur? It could be any form of aspect of your life.
Any form of aspect, not just business wise.
Well, if we talk about business, because you're a legacypreneur, but there's other things around you that build up as a legacypreneur, right?
Yeah.
So other aspects that may impact you. So that's part of your legacy. So feel free to share those.
Well, yeah, the reason I do what I do ultimately is for my family. And my family is huge, the biggest part of my life, under God, of course. But the reason I do what I do is to build up that legacy. My daughter's 10, and since she was about 5, she always told me she wanted to be like mommy. She wanted to be a chiropractor when she grows up. So still to this day, she's 10, she wants to be a chiropractor. So I want to be that positive role model for her as a female. Let her know that you can do anything that you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. And this clinic is something that I would love to be able to hand down to her, or even my son. He's 7, but he may want to be a chiropractor one day too. So, or they may even want to work together. You never know. But I'm also a mom. So not just only a chiropractor and a business owner, but as a mom, they are number one in my life. So I'd have slowed down somewhat, and I've learned time management and how to structure my time better, and fix our calendar to where I'm able to be there even more for my family. Because if I have to choose between one thing or another, my kids and my family will always come first. So,
wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Primeaux. It reminds me of one of my favorite books is The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. And he always talks about one of the habits is begin with the end in mind. And that's what you've done. Your family is that priority for you. So you've created everything around that part. That's your legacy. So that's fantastic to see that. And you brought up something else. You're a mompreneur as well. You're a legacypreneur, you're a mompreneur, you're a wifepreneur. I mean, you have all these different hats and roles. One thing I do want to point out that you mentioned, and I wrote this down, it's about structuring your time, right? So you can spend it with those that you love. And that's what entrepreneurship is about, doing what you love with your family, with that legacy that you've created. And I really appreciate how you shared with us that you've grown into that role, right? How you've been able to develop and grow into that. So that's great.
I just want to mention in my past, in those 4 years, that I was, whenever I had that clinic in the back of the fitness center, I was working 3 jobs at one. And that was before I had kids. So I was doing personal training, running the gym, and I had my business, my chiropractic clinic in the back. And we were unable to have children because of the stress and the anxiety that I was under, having to do 3 jobs in one. So whenever I learned to step back and time manage and learn to say no, I can't do it all. I have to delegate some tasks to people, and I have to learn that I can't do everything. That's whenever I was able to step back, and we conceived Caitlin, who's 10. So after that point, I knew that I could not work myself to death. Although, the work that we do is very important, having my daughter just changed the whole aspect of my entire career.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that pivotal point in your life with us. And I know many other people, those listening today, will be able to capture something from that, because you basically identified an issue, right? And you were able to create a solution at that point. And it's creating being able to create a lifestyle that was less stressful so you could achieve the things that you wanted to, and while still achieving more, right, than you could have probably ever imagined. Because I know you, Dr. Primeaux, I've worked with you. You are powerful. Power of one is amazing, right? Yet when you get that synergy going and you delegate or bring in other people, you accomplish so much more. So you're living that. You're a breathing, living example of that working. So I appreciate you sharing that today. And so others may have that same issue or concern know that they can do it as well, just like you have. And you're teaching Caitlin, you're teaching Colin to be able to do that as well. And I love that concept. And I hope, I know that one day they'll be able to look at this and know that in the future, when they begin with that end in mind, they'll see, you know what, my mother, the legacypreneur, the mompreneur, planted that seed and started this, and here we are today. So that's fantastic.
You're making me want to cry.
Oh,
I'm talking about my kids in the future. It makes me cry.
I know it's a pretty amazing thing to talk about that and be able to have that here in front of us. I'm going to start crying too. I'm just like you, Dr. Primeaux. So when we think about that now, we talk about the past, where you are now in the present, what you're doing to build that up and be that example for your children, with your husband, with the community. What within the business perspective are you doing now within your advanced chiropractic?
What we're doing now is trying to build up our wellness center to be able to eventually grow into a larger wellness center. We are starting to actually outgrow this 2,000 square foot space. So my ultimate goal is to have a strip mall and have a larger area to where we can maybe rent out space to have other wellness or medical businesses that can integrate with us, not necessarily inside of our space, but near the space, to where we can say, okay, well, you need physical therapy. We can't do everything. Chiropractic can't cure everything. There's some things a condition that you have that maybe a physical therapist can deal with, or maybe a medical doctor, or even pain management, massage therapy, and so forth. So that's our ultimate goal, is to be able to have something larger to bring to the community, to increase the wellness, the health and natural wellness of Acadiana.
That's fantastic, Dr. Primeaux. Kudos to you. And I want to just highlight something. You had spoken earlier about starting out with 800 square feet. Now you're up to 2,000 square feet, right? And you increase your staff. Now we can think about 12,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet. So everybody, you've heard it here first, right? Dr. Primeaux has shared her vision with us, and we know it will come to fruition, because I know personally what Dr. Primeaux puts on paper, what she talks about, she will accomplish. So thank you for sharing that with us. I do want to add too, it's going to be a professional strip mall, right? You have these professional offices. So don't forget about the attorneys out there, the legacy lawyers that may need an office out there. Yes, that's right. So thank you for sharing that vision. So that goes into the future piece of things. Some of the things that you're looking forward to build in the future is to build out. Like you said, you're already outgrowing your own space at this point. So you need to build out. What are some of the steps you're taking to do that now, to be able to be ready for that particular point in your life?
Yeah. Now you definitely, whenever you have a goal, you definitely want to write it down, and you break it down into smaller steps. So every day I have a goal sheet, and I cross out the things that I accomplished. And my goal during the day is to have everything accomplished on that sheet. Whenever everything is crossed out, I'd say I put it to the side, and I know that it's done. So we start with a larger number. So for instance, business wise, you want to grow, right? You want to grow your revenue to where you can expand. So I'll start with what we need to bring in for the year, and that breaks down for monthly and then daily and so forth. So we have that written down, and that makes it easier to accomplish whenever you have it down, and you can see it day in and day out. And in order to bring in those goals, you have to have great customer service. Our patients are number one. Whenever a patient is in that treatment room, it's their time. And I believe that is how we were able to grow so fast, is I make my patients part of my family. So I'm getting to know these people. I'm helping them in so many different aspects besides just their spine. I'm helping them feel better, and helping people, they want to help you. So that has exponentially allowed us to get more referrals. I don't have to get out and network and market myself and pay for advertising. We have all of these people, these wonderful family members who are patients that can help us to grow. When I say family members, they're not personal family members, but they're like family. And family wants to help family, and givers gain. And if we give back to the community and to our patients, they'll want to give back to us. And that's what we're doing right now in order to grow. So
great. That's fantastic. And I can, like I said, I'm a true testimonial. I can tell you that you do. We are family for you, you know, from a patient perspective. It's not just us as a patient. You really care about us. And I know my son feels that. Even, you know, my husband, when we can get him to go in, he feels that as well. So that's what it's about. And I loved how you shared the concept of, it's almost like peeling back an onion, right? You start from the end first, and then you go inward. And what I love about that is it's not just about the numbers for you, it's about the people. And that's what makes the difference, right? When you treat the people and put them in number one priority, then you achieve the results you're looking for. But knowing that the priority is that person coming in, right? And treating that person as an individual, which I really do appreciate it. I can't stress this enough. Dr. Primeaux is absolutely amazing. Everything she stated here, she definitely lives it. It's not just, you know, words. It's actually something you live, right? Those principles that you live by. So thank you so much for sharing those with us. And I know, as I mentioned before, I can't stress it enough. You definitely have utilized everything you spoke about. And I love this concept. In fact, anyone listening out there, make sure instead of doing a checklist, do a goal sheet. I love the way you highlight. It's all about mindset, right? It's a goal sheet, not just something you check off, but it's a goal. When you accomplish it, then you can check it off, but it's looking at it from a positive perspective. So thank you for sharing that. I'm actually going to implement that in my own business world as well. So I appreciate that. And then also you talked about givers gain, and I know being in BNI with you, we talk a lot about that. So that's something else. I mean, I definitely want to highlight it's surrounding yourselves with the right individuals that have that are like-minded when it comes to being a legacypreneur, and BNI is one of those locations to do that.
And I do want to mention the CEO of BNI, Ivan Meisner. He wrote a book, and it's called Who's in Your Room? And I strongly urge you all, it's on Amazon, to look into that. It's a very small read. But whoever you surround yourself with and is in your circle, they have the largest impact on your life. And you want to strongly pick and choose who you want to enter into your life. Because if somebody who's negative enters into your life, they stay in your life forever. Even if you down the years down the line, you never see this person again, their impact has been made on you and in your brain. So you'll always subconsciously still have that person in your mind, which is still in your circle. So reading that book about 5 years ago, really, really changed my life to be very selective on who I put into my room and into my circle. And that will ultimately help me grow in business and in life.
Wow, that's great. And I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, sorry. What, can you repeat that again, just to make sure those listening can write that down?
Yeah, it's called Who's in Your Room by Ivan Meisner.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And I will definitely go order that from Amazon now, because I love books and publications out there that can really help us grow and develop. And what you mentioned there is so important, because as you spoke before, when we initially started talking today, having this conversation, you mentioned about the mentors that have been part of your life, right? And they're positive mentors who have been there and done that. And that's exactly what we're looking at here. And in fact, one of my personal mantras that I always say is our personal, I guess you could say, a mantra is that, always leave a net positive with every individual you come in contact with, right? Like you said, there's so much negativity out there, but if you give 2 positives for every negative, you're going to leave a net positive. And that's really what we want to do, especially as an entrepreneur, as a legacypreneur, in creating a legacy. So thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Primeaux. And now we have some other resources, right? We talked about the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. We have Who is in Your Room by Dr. Eisner. Those can be purchased on Amazon. So great resources here. And I always think about it this way. We're all superheroes, right? We're superheroes as a legacypreneur. And I think about Batman, I think about Iron Man. They don't have any innate innate superpower, but they have the tools and resources to be able to be a superhero. And that's what we are. We are legacypreneur superheroes, and we have the tools and resources to be able to accomplish that. So you are a superhero, Dr. Primeaux. You are
As are you, Cindy.
Thank you, Dr. Primeaux. Appreciate that. So we talked a little bit about your future goals already, and I look forward to being able to see that strip mall come to fruition, right? These professional offices come to fruition. Is there anything you want to share about your future goals, your future legacy that you're working to build?
Well, as far as personal wise,
yeah, it could be personal or business, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, my husband and I are also looking to expand our home. So we're outgrowing our house, and we bought land, so we're looking to build and have our retirement home. So that is part of legacy. We want to dig a pond and have a pool and be able to enjoy that whenever we eventually have grandkids. Our place would be the cool place to hang out.
That's
so
right.
That's another part of our current goals that are allowing us to reach our future goals. But that all comes into business too. And my husband has his own business as well. And we all, at least once a week, we have like a little goal setting meeting. It's okay, what are we going to do this week? How are we going to set these goals? What are we going to accomplish this week to be able to reach our ultimate goal?
That's fantastic. So you have legacypreneur plus legacypreneur equals a power couple right there, right? So that's amazing. That's pretty cool. You and Sean are that power couple out there. Thank you for sharing that too. As far as your personal future goals, and I know you will achieve those as well, Dr. Primeaux. So we've talked a lot today about what it means to be a legacypreneur, and in your particular example or case, the past, the present, and then the future. What are the top 3 gems that those listening in today can take away, write them down, and implement immediately into their own lives? The top 3 gems.
That's a great one, Cindy. So number 1 is patience. Success does not come overnight, and you'll see people who are so impatient and they want that success right away, but it takes hard work, dedication, and lots of patience. So that's definitely one of the main 3 gems that I'd definitely put out there. Another one is trust. So you, again, as I said earlier, you can't do everything alone. You have to trust that whenever you hire, if you want to hire employees, you have to trust them to do the job right. You give them the tools, you give them everything they need to be able to do their job, but not everybody does their job the same way. And you can't be over their shoulders and nitpicking everything they do. And I did make that mistake early on in practice. And I quickly realized that whenever I found really great employees and just let them do their thing, a lot of times they bring in other ideas that I never would have even thought of. So that's another one. And then a third one is delegate tasks. Again, you can't do it all. When I had that 800 square foot office in the back of the fitness center, I had no employees at all. And for 2 years before we got pregnant for Caitlin, I did everything by myself, and I didn't delegate anything to anybody, which again created anxiety, created stress and negative feelings. So whenever you can delegate tasks and you find good help and good employees to help you with your business, then you will flourish and grow exponentially.
Great.
Top 3: patience, trust, and delegate.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And they're so important, those gems, that I'm going to repeat them, right? Patience. I loved what you said about success does not happen overnight. And so many people think it does and they give up. Well, we should never give up, and just be patient with ourselves and with those around us as well. And then I love number 2, how you said trust. And it's trusting those around you, appreciating their unique, what they bring to the table, right? Their uniqueness, their diversity. So thank you for sharing that. And then also delegating. I know me personally, and I appreciate your authenticity and sharing some of the things you've had to learn in this journey. I agree with you. I'm on the same page with you. And I know many of us out there suffer with that as well, because we know we could do the job, But you know what? There maybe others out there who can do it in a different way, not necessarily better, in a different way, in a more creative way. So I appreciate you bringing those 3 points up. And I know you have many more. And if you definitely want to talk to Dr. Primeaux in person, in the Lafayette area, we definitely will have her contact information available, your contact information. If people do want to reach out to you, find out more about you and your business, how can they reach out to you, Dr. Primeaux?
Yeah, the best possible way, I guess, would be through our website, which is www.advancedchiropracticrehab.com. All of our services are on there, all of the ways to contact us through phone, fax, email, and you can also, we have a chat. So you can even chat in the website and it'll go to our office manager and we can answer any questions that you have. And that's the easiest way to reach us. If phone number 337-504-4378. But again, all of that information is on the website.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Dr. Primeaux. I appreciate you taking the time today to be part of today's Legacypreneur discussion. And I have learned so much from you, as I always do. And I know others listening in today have learned from you as well. So continue your Legacypreneur journey. I know you will continue to accomplish great things. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Cindy.
You're welcome. Take care.